What's up, everybody? Brian Tong here outside the Steve Jobs Theater here at Apple Park. And I was here at Apple Park for the very first time for WWDC 2022. And this is an amazing and stunning piece of architecture. Walking on the outside path, it is so clean. I mean, Apple Park looks like a fake render, but it's real life. I mean, that is how pristine this building looks. You know, I'm looking around and it's so peaceful and zen-like. You don't hear outside noise. It's just really incredible to be there. And this is my first time. And you know what they say, you'll never forget your first time at Apple Park. But you're here for a first look and hands-on of the new M2 MacBook Air. Yes, Apple revealed new hardware at DubDub, and the audience, they were juiced about it.
Today, we're excited to start the next generation of Apple Silicon for the Mac. Introducing M2.
The new M2 MacBook Air design-wise is gorgeous, and it just takes design cues from the new MacBook Pro with its flat body design. You got the squared off smooth edges and rounded corners. Now in hand, this thing feels really, really nice. It's 2.7 pounds and less than half an inch thick at 11.3 millimeters. I preferred having a little bit more bulk because then it isn't so sharp like the previous taper design. It comes in 4 new colors. You got silver, space gray, starlight, which is that champagne gold color, and midnight. And midnight, this color is really interesting because in some lighting conditions, it can look like this deep midnight blue, and then others it can kind of look like a dark matte black almost, but it's really pretty. It kind of transforms like a chameleon. And this is a true next generation MacBook Air. You're getting an even more powerful M2 processor inside with an 18% performance boost compared to the last generation M1 chip. And that's thanks to its improved performance per core for both the CPUs and GPUs, and support for up to 24 gigs of unified memory. That is up from 16 gigs from the previous model. The M2 chip supports playback of up to 11 streams of 4K video and 2 streams of 8K video. The previous M1 could not play multiple streams of 8K video at all. It uses Apple's Liquid Retina display with True Tone, so it's still an LCD display, but it's 25% brighter, going from 400 nits to 500 nits, and then supports the entire P3 color gamut and 1 billion colors, so it's an even better performing display. And yes, there's a notch that houses its 1080p FaceTime camera. Everyone worried that the bezel in the notch might be white. Well, guess what? Apple did us right. It's black. It looks like what we've seen in previous MacBook Pros, so they did a good job. In fact, I'm gonna give it to them. That's a good Apple. Now, I'll still never be a fan of the notch, but I bought a MacBook Pro with the notch, and Apple's laptops are so impressive that it didn't stop me from buying one, so I'm not gonna complain about it. The Air also has 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports for connectivity, and it has the beloved MagSafe 3 connector. There's also a braided MagSafe cable that matches the color of the Air that you purchase. So with the Midnight MacBook Air, you get this matching midnight blue cable. You also have 2 new charger options. Now, the $1199 base model comes with the standard 30-watt power adapter that you're used to, but you can go with either the new 35-watt dual USB-C port compact adapter. It has these 2 dimples on the side to make it easier to pull off from the wall, or you can opt for the 67-watt USB-C power adapter that fast charges the Air up to 50% in 30 minutes. So you're gonna have to decide on either more functionality versus faster charging speeds when you place your order. Now, those 2 adapters are a $20 additional upgrade for either of them, or another option is if you order the $1499 M2 MacBook Air that has the 8-core CPU and 10-core GPU or a higher configuration, you can pick between the new 35-watt dual USB-C adapter or the 65-watt fast charging adapter at no additional charge. So you do have a few options here. Now, there's a standard headphone jack, and you also have the 3 mic array system with beamforming mics to capture really quality audio. And this also brings 4 speakers now compared to the 2 from the M1 MacBook Air, so you're gonna get bigger and significantly better sound with support for Dolby Atmos and spatial audio from the built-in speakers. There's still only Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0, so no Wi-Fi 6E or Bluetooth 5.1. It is not a deal breaker, but it would be nice for future-proofing and longevity. It still has the same support for 1 external display with up to a 6K resolution at 60 Hertz, and it brings the same 18-hour battery life for video playback that matches last year's M1 MacBook Air. The new M2 MacBook Air, again, it starts at $1199 for the 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU model, and will be available starting next month. If you want a fully loaded model with the 8-core CPU and 10-core GPU, then you bump it up all the way to 24 gigs of unified memory and 2 terabytes of SSD storage. That's going to cost $2,000 $499 US before taxes, and that also does not include AppleCare. Apple's also still keeping the M1 MacBook Air in the lineup with a starting price at $999, which is a killer point for an entry-level Air that would last really someone like my mom for years. So after getting my hands on the new M2 MacBook Air, it really confirms everything I thought before I got here. This is easily going to be Apple's best-selling Mac of 2022. You got the form factor, the new colors, the price point that's affordable for everyone, and we're talking about right before the back-to-school season. I mean, this is a no-brainer recipe for success for already what was previously the best-selling Mac before that. So I don't know what else they can do to make it better, but I can't wait to get my hands on it, right? I'm gonna review it, put it through the paces, but there you go, the first look and hands-on of the new M2 MacBook Air, and also my first time here at Apple Park at the Steve Jobs Theater. It was a fun one. So until next time, we'll see you later. Woo!